You can rent a boyfriend at the pool? Oh, and everyone's going to be like, oh my God, how did you get her?
I just love the concept of hiring someone to listen to my complaints. Crush on Ayaka. But, you know, Ayaka was in love with Chad. But you didn't get to... You can rent a boyfriend at the pool?
It's like, holy moly.
Hey, podcast kittens. Nya, let's get it in.
Ladybeard coming at you with another double Ewing installment of
Cat with Beard.
How are you, my friend? I am wonderful. I tried the Ladybeard Get Fit with Ladybeard exercises the last 2 days. Yes.
Oh, thank you.
I got myself a stool. I did the steppy.
Good, really?
Yes.
Good.
For half an hour straight.
Good. She's doing her steps before breakfast. Before breakfast. Good.
How long do I need to wait until I can have breakfast then after that?
Well, you just get up, you do your steps, then you have breakfast.
Okay, good. Fantastic. Yeah. I
Good job.
Did that, had a shower.
wonderful.
It was interesting because it energized me more than taking energy away.
Yeah, good, excellent. That's what'll happen when you work out first thing in the morning. Excellent. That is very good cardio if you do it consistently. Very good cardio.
Exactly. And that will get me fit. And mentioning fit, we're talking today about what fit people get. They usually get a boyfriend or a girlfriend.
You are fit, but my gosh, don't you know it?
Oh, don't you know that you're fit, mate? There is more than just a way to peel an orange, and there's more than just a way to find love in Japan. And there are some other ways that are unique to Japan only.
There certainly
Oh, they're a lot.
We are talking about renting boyfriends and girlfriends in Japan.
It's just Japan, only in Japan. Only in Japan.
Well, yeah. Tell you what, I don't think... Would that business thrive in Australia? Rent a boyfriend, rent a girlfriend? Maybe it would.
Really?
Well...
I think it would kind of get overshadowed by the kind of like, oh, she's one of those people kind of.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
What do they call those? I think there is a thing abroad. Escort, yeah.
So we have those already. So I guess it's the same thing, but in
little bit more
Japan it's a
innocent.
whole new level. Let's talk about it. So
in a way, so a Western escort is like a lady that you take to the museum, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you've got a black tie dinner, and you want to show up with someone on your arm, a +1 as it were. You don't have your own +1 to tour with, so of course you pay a very attractive lady some money, and she looks wonderful, and she turns up with you, and she sits beside you, and she makes you look excellent in front of the overseas clients.
So it's like an eye candy.
I can't. She just comes with you and she escorts you. She just comes with you to the thing you need her to do.
All right. Okay, so I guess like the boyfriend-girlfriend is close to that.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
but it seems much more kind of like, this is my pretend boyfriend or girlfriend, much more than the escort service.
So again, it brings us back to Japan kind of acting a character in a way almost.
Yeah, they love the old suspension of disbelief. They love it. The old kuki yomimasen. They're all about it.
So there's a lover agency service to rent a girlfriend or a boyfriend. It's a temporary customer service business.
Yep.
No romance, it's business actually.
Big
Sorry guys,
business.
we promised you romance. So a cast member plays the role of the lover of a customer. So you're not just escorting then, you act as if you are a lover. And dating a partner in the market started at around 2012, rapidly expanded after it was introduced on TV in 2013. And I guess especially through like the COVID years, a lot of things might have changed there. But
Yeah, that's right. So we had several animes and TV dramas about renting girlfriends and
actually,
renting boyfriends.
before that-
Whoa!
there is a survey in Men and Women in Tokyo 2021, so after the Olympics, during the pandemic, and more than 30% said they were interested or had even used the service. Renkano, the largest rental kanojo, so rental girlfriend service, has been used by a cumulative total of more than 60,000 people since 2014.
Hang on. 30% of Tokyo either has used or would consider using a rental
I'm not sure how many
service.
people they asked, though. More
Yeah,
than
I'm going to say
30%,
there's a problem with these surveys,
It was
isn't
just
it?
a survey. We don't know who did the
Simply
service.
one survey. But then it turns out only 60,000 people have used it, so that certainly isn't 30% of Tokyo.
There is generally a saying that we have in Germany is like, do not trust a survey that you haven't faked yourself. So we don't know which 30% they asked, but at least 60,000 instances of renting a girlfriend have happened over that one company that is willing to disclose that information.
Good point. That's only one company. That's plenty of rentals, isn't it? 60,000?
It's not bad since 2014. But if you think about it, I would have even thought more people, because there's a lot of people who are lonely. And you just you don't maybe have time to actually upkeep a girlfriend, but if you can just rent it from time to time, I guess it's nice.
Yeah, and we've discussed this before, but personal relations a lot of the time in Japan, it's something in the culture when personal relations are considered transactional a lot of the time.
Also, I heard a lot of people are like, oh, I can't get a girlfriend because my family wouldn't approve of her or her status or something. So, in that situation, it might be easier to just for this one date, I don't want to go by myself to whatever event.
Yeah, family Christmas. Just, all right, come on, number 4306. We're going to go to family Christmas and they'll leave me alone.
Oh, you mean for actually to show the family to pretend you have a girlfriend?
You do have a girlfriend. Be like, yep,
so
see
they're
that?
Not worried?
You leave me alone? Thanks. Cool.
Might be.
Spent all my Christmas money on my pretend girlfriend.
Okay, there is a TV anime you talked about.
There's a TV anime, that's all right. Rent a Girlfriend. It was a romantic comedy. And there's a boy who rents a girlfriend. Turns out it's his university classmate who lives next door. And hilarity ensues. This thing was so insanely popular, sold over 11 million copies. 11 million copies of this story about the old rental girlfriend. Turns out she just lives next door to you and she goes to university with you. Look at that. Could be anyone. Anyone could be renting out their services, their companionship. Hey, a little bit of company can go a long, long way with a little bit of cash. A Cathy Cat, don't knock it till you tried it.
Right. There's also another manga that tackles the same idea, which is a little bit darker. Yeah. That was Ashita watashi wa dareka no kanojo. Tomorrow I'll be someone's girlfriend.
Yeah, I didn't even say the name of that first one, did I?
I think you did. Kanojo. Rent-a-girl. No, it's called Rent-a-Girlfriend. That's pretty much the English title.
Kanojo o karimasu. There we are.
Karishimasu.
That was a good job.
So the other one is a manga focusing on girls' various problems and complexes, and the story unfolds with different chapters. So at each time, it's a different heroine. And the first chapter focuses on a girl who is working as a cast member of a Rent-a-Girlfriend agency and has some complexes about her. It actually won a couple of awards, and it was actually made into a TV drama in April 2023 because they collaborated with the ladies' fashion magazine Larm, which has kind of cute fashion in there, and a rock band, Mio Yamazaki. So I think that the word is out more. It's kind of like this subculture of renting a girlfriend or a boyfriend has been picked up more by media now, which again makes it more popular.
Yeah, it seems more and more. This idea of trading money for companionship is becoming more and more mainstream within Japan, I feel.
I guess so. I mean, we talked about all different kinds of idols, and we talked about maids and similar things like that. So I guess it's another way of having some sort of transaction where another person acts at something. But there are a couple of reasons, though, why people rent girlfriends or boyfriends.
Tell me more.
Let's go into them.
Tell me more.
The common reasons is they just want to date someone.
Want to date someone. Just can't get a date on their own gumption.
Yeah.
And they just want a little bit of company, A little bit of company for the evening, just to feel special.
But the advantage, I guess, of this system is it's not a real date. Meaning, if it goes terribly wrong, you do something silly or something stupid, the actors, if they're good,
they're gonna go along
will carry it. You're always so funny. They're already pretending that they know you and that it's not a date.
Yeah,
so
actually,
they probably forgive you more for being awkward or maybe eating really badly because they're in character.
Actually, that sounds awesome. Yeah, every joke is a smash hit.
No, it's hilarious. What you just said is hilarious. I guess it's just a feel-good kind of thing.
Hey, this sounds like a great service.
Because, it's not a date because, they don't have to bring their real emotions there. They will just act as, they're totally in love with you.
Make you feel good. Excellent. Well, yeah, that actually sounds great. You would leave that rental date with higher self-esteem than you came into it, for sure.
Again, that probably will sell it more, right?
Yeah,
you had a great time. You thought this is amazing. Next time you want to do this again.
Yeah. That should just be their advertising. It should just say self-esteem ? This is the solution. Perfect.
I mean, that goes a little bit more into the adult area that we have in Shinjuku. But in the end, like if you go to a hostess place, there's beautiful women who sit down on a table with you and drink with you, and you pay a hefty ransom to have them come to your table. So I think it's maybe a skimmed down version of that, of the service industry again, of having someone supply a certain favor to you as acting as your girlfriend or boyfriend.
With your rental girlfriend or boyfriend, they can go with you to where you want them to be, as opposed to the institution where you have to go to them.
So you can take them shopping all day. If it's a rental boyfriend, he won't complain because that's his job.
Oh, good point. He'll tell you how awesome the experience is.
He's like, thanks for taking me shopping. That was amazing.
He's really, really into this experience. Let me just tell you a quick story, mate. When the pandemic finally wrapped up, the first time we could go overseas with the group, we're out and about. It's like our day off or something, and there's a mall next to our hotel. Go into this mall, and the girl's like, "Oh, hey, Beard, we just want to go into this shop." No worries. 2 hours later, I'm walking around this store going, "Guys, are we still here? Seriously?" And the girl's holding up the absolute female shopping experience, and I'm like, I can't leave them by themselves. But good grief, this is really troubling me at this moment.
Well, you can't rob them of their first foreign shopping experience.
No, well, it seems I can't. So, yeah, if you're interested in working as a rental boyfriend, you can look forward to all kinds of shopping trips.
I mean, in the end, you're getting paid for the day, so you're not going to complain that they sent you shopping because in the end, you still get your paycheck.
Yeah.
Second reason, by the way, is some people want to experience youthful crushes.
That's right.
So if the actor is good and kind of goes like, trying to like make it all like super cute, you can probably make requests, I assume. I have no idea, but I assume if they're good actors, they can incorporate that as if it's like the first time. They're kind of like a little bit awkward.
Let's say in year 10 you had a crush on Ayaka, but Ayaka was in love with Chad. So you didn't get to have any FaceTime with Ayaka, really?
Chad?
Yeah, well, Chad, he was the one on Valentine's Day.
Such an
Or he
un-Japanese
opened his
name.
locker and all the chocolate fell out. He was the only one who got chocolate in the class, Chad. But you really thought Ayaka was something special. Well, now that you're 35 and you've got a job, you've found this chick who looks like Sayaka at the rental girlfriend agency. You just pay her to say her name, Sayaka, and you can walk together underneath the cherry blossoms and she can tell you you're way more awesome than Chad ever was.
Fantastic. That's 1 and 2. 3 is some people want to practice actual dating because they might have never had a chance.
Well, it sort of makes sense, doesn't it? You want to have a go before you get into the real high-stakes situation.
Yeah. Reason number 4, they want someone to accompany them to maybe some place or events that they would find difficult to visit alone, which brings us to escort culture in the West, maybe.
Yeah, perhaps your Kung Fu club has its annual Christmas banquet. And, everyone gets to go to the Kung Fu club banquet.
Everyone is bringing their girlfriends, and you're the only one without a girlfriend. So you're like, ooh, that's awkward. Let's just rent one.
Yeah. I can flip $200 and I'll have the hottest pretend girlfriend out of everyone there.
Oh, and everyone's going to be like, oh my God, how did you get her?
And you'd be like, well, let's practice the form real hard.
See, there you go. I mean, I guess.
Your master will be like, hey, you got a cute girlfriend. You'd be like, yeah.
Oh, well,
Turn up for training on Monday with a bit more swagger in your step, more swagger in your sidekick.
Right, so
this is absurd, isn't it? I'm sorry.
I mean, in a way, we're selling this. We're not sponsored by any of this, and we do not endorse it.
We are making this service sound awesome right now.
We are. We're finding all the good reasons for it.
Hey, swagger to your sidekick.
I mean, like, not everyone is perfect, and not everyone's going to do the greatest acting that is there. I mean, like, for example, there is this one person who literally just calls himself the rental I do nothing person.
Oh, that dude's hilarious.
It's just a dude who's like, I do nothing. He just hangs out, but he comes along. He tags along all day, but he doesn't do anything. Like, he doesn't praise you. It doesn't act. He just hangs out.
There.
He's just there.
A lot of the idols and whatnot are getting on stage now.
Oh, right.
He just stands on stage, just staring at the front.
That's
got
all
a
he
cap
does.
and a backpack.
He does nothing.
He's just some fellow who just stands there.
Yep, that's his thing.
The girls are all dancing around him and whatnot. That's what you pay him for.
That's what you pay him for. And again, people can't get jealous
What
at
a
him
legend.
because that is his job. He's paid to be actually on stage to do nothing.
What a legend. just hire him to do nothing at all. That is the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Clever.
Hey, tell you
clever
what,
trend.
anyone who's thinking about a career change.
Just become the rental I do nothing person. I just there. Breathing the air.
Can you
there.
imagine? What a great gig. Oh, what a legend.
So, how to?
Sorry, there's one more big old reason.
All right.
This is really a one for the ladies. What's the biggest concern, the biggest complaints that the females have?
I think this
about
is a
their
gender-loaded
boyfriends?
thing because I read this and thought of a business salary man who just wants to get,
Oh, that's interesting.
talk about it. You were thinking of a lady. So the reason number 5 is they want someone to listen to their complaints. In Japan, I guess you don't burden other people with your complaints much.
Is that what it's all about? So you don't just meet your mates and be like, let me tell you what's going on.
Yeah, because
You
then
can't
they're
do
like,
that.
oh, you're a bit of a downer. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's always complaining. Maybe let's not invite them to the next party.
Oh, all right, I see.
Or just event. So they want someone to listen to their complaints without hard feelings, without feeling bad about unloading their stuff on them. So why don't pay someone for it? That's a very cultural thing, I think.
It's almost like therapy, isn't it? It's a cute therapist, an aesthetically pleasing therapist.
Yeah, someone to complain to, and then they're going to be like, oh my God, I totally understand you. Yeah, I'm totally on your side. They will probably support you and buff you up.
You would hope so.
Hope so.
You would hope so. Imagine if it's an upsell system where first you pay them a little bit just to listen, and then if for sympathy, now you've got to pay more.
I don't think
And
that's it.
Then for them to tell you that you're correct, you pay them more again.
Oh my goodness.
You're absolutely right.
You're now unselling this. You first upsell this, now you're downselling
That
this.
was your car park. You shouldn't have cut in.
All right, let's find out how to use a rent a girlfriend or rent a
All right,
boyfriend for
talk to
those
me.
handsome ladies and handsome boyfriends you would like to rent while you're in Japan. You can nominate a cast member by looking at their profile. So if someone is looking like, what was it, Ayaka?
Yeah, Ayaka-chan,
Ayaka.
that's right.
So if
you
someone,
little Ayaka.
you look at the pictures, you're like, oh, she looks a little bit like Ayaka. You can then check if their preferred date and time and duration is available. You can't get them all day, apparently. Sometimes you can just maybe get them by the hour. I don't know.
Potentially they have busy schedules, Maybe they got certain times blocked out because they're off being someone else's girlfriend for those hours.
Yeah, and then you can either get a message via line or maybe email to find out whether the person you would like to book is available to be booked. Nominated, they call it, nominated. So during the date, the actor will act as the client's lover, depending on the rule they made, even hold hands or each other's arms.
The old arm walk for under the sakura stroll. Very nice.
Further physical contacts and sexual services are prohibited because then that would go into a different
type of service.
different type of service. So it is literally very, very pure. Holding hands, holding the arms, no smoochies, none of that. No touchies, no smoochies.
No hanky-panky.
Yes. With additional fee, the use of the
Control
service
yourself.
can be extended. Some companies offer paid options. This is swimming pool date.
Swim pool
and
date?
Homemade lunches. So we're going towards a little bit more of the, all right, we're getting a little bit towards dodgy zone.
Well, it seems to be, okay,
soft-fell.
swimsuit. She's in her bikini. All right.
For Japan, that's a big thing, though.
It is.
I mean, for you guys in Australia, it's like swimsuit, whatever. But I
Left
think
and
in
right.
Japan, meeting someone in a swimsuit, oh my, boy.
But also for the ladies, there's that manga and anime about the boys on the swim team who all have very,
Free.
very nice abs. Maybe you want to be like, I always wanted to date Ikehiro for free. I
have
read this guy that's like that.
I have the feeling the swimsuit thing is more for guys because you know how there's a lot of people with.
You don't want to see. You pretend that you're dating the boy from the anime with the chiseled abs and the pointy haircut.
Well, I guess if whatever floats your boat, I'm just surprised because in a way, just to order that, even if you're paying for it, I'm surprised that women are not embarrassed to order that. You know what I mean? Like, or
Yeah.
guys, I guess, like, do you have no shame? But I guess that's a thing.
Well, hey, look, listen, I want my pretend girlfriend to go to the beach with me.
I guess
Let's
so.
go.
Maybe again you're gonna show it off to all your mates. You're like walking around,
Take
and she's
some
like
selfies.
gorgeous.
Oh yeah, look at my pretend girlfriend. Exactly. My rental chick. You know
Damn.
what I'm saying?
Okay. Then there's a couple of rules to protect the cast members, the actors, for their general life. One, you're not allowed to take photos, videos, and audio recordings of the cast member.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so you can't even take a selfie to show your mates and impress your mates.
You can't.
You got to take her in the flesh.
You cannot exchange personal contact details because this is not a date, a real date. This is a service that you paid for, which is separate to the actual persona that they are. They might even have their own girlfriend or boyfriend. That is out of the question though, because they are actually offering you a service. It's like renting a dog for a day.
Look, in a lot of ways, there's a lot of parallels to idols and maid cafes and all those kinds of things, isn't it? It's
the same kind of service culture, I guess. Just taking it a further step. Like if you always wanted to hang out with that cute mate, but you can't, then you just maybe rent a girlfriend for a day because you want to actually go on the beach and have a stroll.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Another thing you're not allowed is driving dates. Japanese people like driving dates quite a lot, but again, it would endanger the cast members. You don't know where they're getting taken, so that makes sense.
No control.
Or maybe bad drivers. Damn. Another thing that's not allowed, dates with clothing requests.
Hey, what?
I would like you to wear a school uniform. You cannot.
You cannot?
You cannot. Apparently the pool thing is separate from that, but generally you can't just say, I would like you to wear the school uniform of this one anime that I've seen recently. You can't make those requests if
Isn't
they
that
don't have it.
interesting? Because I would have thought that would just be another opportunity to upsell.
Yeah, I thought that too. It was interesting.
You can't say, listen, we're going to a black and red party. The men must wear black. The women must wear red. Please wear red.
I guess for that one you might be able, but then you might have to ask about that, I guess. I don't know. I have no idea.
We're going to Halloween. I need her to dress as a priest.
I would like her to be a pumpkin.
A pumpkin.
Another thing that they're not allowed to, they introduce to third parties, friends and family.
Seems to me like the major appeal of this service.
I assume some probably cut some corners and do that.
Here and there, surely.
Probably, yeah.
All right. Well, it's just for you then. No photos, no introductions, just you and your rent-a-date doing the thing you do on your rent-a-date.
I guess you would probably trouble. So, for example, you rent a girlfriend or a boyfriend, you introduce them to your family, say we're going to marry in a couple of weeks and it's going to be fine, so don't worry. The actor would probably feel a little bit bad by like lying to the family. So maybe they're taking that away with some other services. I don't know.
There's that Kevin Hart movie about when he was like a rental best man for weddings. Did you see that film?
No.
I can't remember the name of it. It's a funny film.
Okay. Yeah. So dating in private rooms is also off limit, which is it makes sense.
But yeah, that makes total sense.
So it includes their house, of course,
Yep.
internet cafes, because again, closed rooms, rental rooms make sense, karaoke also makes sense, hotel rooms, of course.
Makes a lot of sense.
And overnight stays. So you can't rent them for an entire weekend.
No.
Because that goes towards, again, a different type of service.
Totally different service, that's right.
Another thing, you're not allowed dating in swimming pools, seas, spas, mixed bathing, hot springs, and anywhere where there's swimwear with exposure.
I guess that's
Generally.
unless you buy the swimwear package.
Okay, which apparently only some places
upsell.
do. Maybe they got so many requests that they started doing that in that agency. They're like,
fair
wow,
enough.
yes, we're just going to cater to the audience.
Well, yeah, you got to give the people what they want, don't you? Do you reckon there'd be like one particular rent-a-boyfriend who particularly was like a lookalike to one, like the dude from Free, and so that he got really good at diving and whatnot, so that he could go to the pool with you, and he'd be like, "Watch me dive off the 10 meter," and you could be like, Skills for the rental boyfriend, girlfriend, skills, ladies and gentlemen.
And obviously, other types of dating you're not allowed to do is to go to some sort of adult establishments
just
with
makes
them. It
perfect
makes
sense,
sense. Again, if the more you go towards the adult side of things, you're blurring the boundaries to other services that do exist in Japan.
Definitely exist.
Like hostess or host culture, you're not going there. You're supposed to just act for a date, and a very innocent date for a day or maybe a couple of hours during the day, maybe just to go to a cafe. So
It's very wholesome. It's a wholesome experience.
it should be. So that's apparently the difference to other services that Japan offers. So
Oh, I just love the concept of hiring someone to listen to my complaints. Let me tell you, sweetheart, the boss is killing me.
Yeah, just get everything off your chest. Yeah,
Get it all off.
So how much is it to use the service? What do you guess? Just give me a guesstimation.
Look, I guess it's probably going to be a range. I reckon you're starting at like, $200 in Nimangan or so, probably going up into the thousands, I reckon. Probably going up to a good $5,000 for a really top quality pretend girlfriend, boyfriend.
All right, so like you said, it will differ. It also depends on the popularity of that person, or if you just request it. If you just request a person, you're just going to get a person. But if you request a certain person, then by hour, they get like a nomination fee because you wanted that person. If it's a popular person, there's probably some premium added to that. Reminds me a little bit kind of again of host culture.
Same system as the hostesses, isn't it?
So on average, it costs between 5,000 and 8,000 yen per hour as the base fee.
$50 to $80.
So it's not cheap. And then plus on top of that, 2,000 to 5,000 for the nomination, and then 3,000 to 5,000 yen for transportation fee in case it's like maybe you're meeting somewhere in the city, something like that. And in addition, all the other costs at the date, the food and the drink has to be covered by the customer as well. Makes sense because, they don't want to pay that out of their pocket.
And that's per hour. These costs are per hour, aren't they? So you're not getting away with less than $100 an hour.
No,
5 to 8,000.
Sounds very expensive. Yeah. So that's you probably can't afford to rent them out for an entire day. So you might just rent them for like a quick cafe date. That's one thing. Fees can also be paid directly to the cast member on the day of the date, or paid in advance to the agency. Now here's the question: do you think any of your mates would pay to date a girl in Australia?
In Australia. Well, here's the problem, because it can't be a big funny, I got my rental girlfriend. You're with the guys. It's just you and her. I got a feeling we would rent it for one of our mates on his birthday, and kind of you'd be like, all right, enjoy that awkward experience with a stranger. You know what I mean?
But then again, you're not allowed to introduce them to friends and family members.
You're not. So yeah, can you get it for your mates? Surely you could get it for your mates. Just you pay for it, and then Daryl shows up and he meets Ayaka.
Daryl?
Yeah, Daryl, because Daryl just turned 21. So that's your present for him. Give him 2 hours, 2 awkward hours with a foreigner. I don't know, actually, but beyond that, sorry, I'm being a bit silly. Beyond just some novelty thing, I guess the service would work in Australia for particular individuals, but I think you'd be taking a big old risk, I reckon. You'd want to have some kind of security measures in place.
I think abroad it might be a little bit careful. But I also think with like Germans, I think if Germans just want someone to just go on a date with them, they'd probably message them on some sort of social media app, say, hey, I have this thing to go to. I don't know anyone to go to. You want to go there with me? And then they say yes or no kind of thing. So you kind of like use the social media dating apps to probably get someone to go on one date with you because it doesn't have the heavy implications of we don't have to meet afterwards kind of thing.
Yeah, what do you reckon? Tell us in the comments if you think this service would work out in your country.
Would it work in your country? I keep going through this and thinking there is, for example, a thing I've seen, you can also rent family members. So you can like rent a family. You can rent a mom. You can rent a dad. You can rent a brother. You can rent a sister. So there is actually other rental things apart from just girlfriends and boyfriends out there. These agencies, this is a business and they're thinking of how they can branch out apparently.
Rent a family.
Yep. Rent a family, but then you have to pay. Don't forget about the fee. You've then
pay everybody.
Everybody, not cheap.
Rent a family. What would you do with a rented family? There's rented mom, rented dad, and rented little brother. What you gonna do?
I mean, I remember a Japanese TV show. No, a German came to film in Japan, and the host did like rent a family, and he was like, "I have this big idea about this one big business. What do you think? Shall we invest in like Stardom coins or whatever?" It was like some random. Stardust. Should we invest in Stardust? Something like that. And the dad was like, kind of like, he was trying to be the quiet dad, while the mother was like, oh no, he want me like to invest all of our family's fortune in Stardust. They're kind of like, they did some very interesting acting dynamics. So if you have some good actors, can be quite fun. I guess it's a bit sad if you think about some people who might not have a family or never had a nurturing family, I can understand why people would actually do that because they want that experience. But there's a lot of pros and cons, I guess, to this dynamic.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like role-playing, isn't it? I used to do role-playing gigs for doctor students. So you'd be an actor and they'd come in to tell you your diagnosis and, it varied from, you got the sniffles, get out of here, you're fine, to, your mother's dead, things like this. So I guess it'd be kind of like a role-playing gig, wouldn't it? Yes, I think it would be.
You said something really sad and it kind of got me off topic.
Well, it's for doctors, sorry. I used to do that for the doctors, right? And
wait a second, the doctors were practicing that conversation on you, so they don't have to practice it on real people.
Well, they're student doctors because one of the things they have to learn is their bedside manner and how to communicate with the patients and whatnot.
Oh, so you were pretending to be a patient?
Yeah.
You're like, I'm so sick.
It was a great gig, actually, for psych students. So all the conditions were psychiatric illnesses and whatnot.
Oh,
so
right.
It was actually great fun. From an acting perspective, it was a great gig. Really great. Yeah.
Right. So you had to act as the patient and people told you have something really wrong with your brain and then do you get to act this out like panic or something?
Well, yeah. Everyone would get given a script of their character and who you were and what the situation was. And then the doctors would come in one by one because it was a test for the doctors. They were getting examined. So they were getting examined on when you told them your symptoms and whatnot, did they accurately assess you with the correct condition and how well they communicated the information.
Okay, so if they were really deadpan and actually absolutely no empathy for something big happening to you, that probably would take some points away.
Yeah, I remember. So one of the ones I did was I was the son of a man he was having hallucinations and he saw goblins in the cupboard and things like this, right? So the doctor would come in, you'd have to explain the details, the whole thing to him. And then the doctor would, say, well, I reckon this is going on and, so this is what you can do about it and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, it was actually a great, we've gone a bit off topic here, but it was a great gig as an actor because some doctors would come in and sometimes they get the diagnosis wrong, but they have very good bedside manner about it. And sometimes they got the information correct, but they were just really bad communicators. So I remember that particular example, it's a situation when your father has a condition called something with Lewy bodies, dementia with Lewy bodies or something like this, some situation in the brain, dementia situation. And one of the guys, he comes in and he listens to my things and he says to me, keeping in mind that until I read the script, I'd never heard about Lewy bodies before. And he tells me, your father has Lewy bodies. I'm very sorry. And I'm like, what? What is a Lewy body? What are you talking about? Yeah, we got off topic, but that was a really fun acting gig.
So again, so in the end, Rent-A-Girlfriend, Rent-A-Boyfriend is a different type of acting.
Yeah, really, yeah.
So it's not an adult kind of thing, unless you order the swimsuit package, which apparently not all companies do. But generally, it seems to be kind of in the sense, let's go on a date for a couple of hours. Looking at the price, it's only a couple of hours. I thought it was like you rent them for a day. Nope, none of that. Way too expensive.
So those of you who've just finished acting school and you need a gig, you could consider the rental boyfriend, rental girlfriend situation.
Yeah, and again, just be sure that you apply to the rules and don't let them take sneaky pictures and stuff, I guess.
Rental stand there, do nothing, man. You could consider these jobs.
All right. Well, that was a topic.
This was something.
Would you rent a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a family or a cousin second grade or an uncle? Let us know in the comments down below on our YouTube channel.
And don't forget to tune in next time when we go for a deep dive into a topic that you'll find out about next time when we deep dive into that topic that we haven't told you about yet on another enthralling installment of
Cat with Beard!